Oh my god. I think I've done it again. Yes, I have done it again. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, right, I saved it. I leaked it, but I saved it. How could it be a match preview? How could it even be a Roma Theory match preview without me leaking the formation? It isn't. It's a classic. I've done it in every single match preview. We're now 2 games away until the end of the season, and I've done it again. I can't believe. I mean, I cannot believe I'm saying this, but in 2 weekends from today, there is not going to be Roma, and the league is going to end. It's sad saying this because the year without Roma on weekends is depressing. I know the summer's coming and all of that beauty, but yeah, it just doesn't feel the same. So I'm a bit sad saying this, but the thing which surprises me and shocks me every time I think about this is how fast it went. I mean, can we believe that we are 2 game weeks away until the end of the season? I struggle to believe this. We've gone through so much internally. We've gone through so much in terms of performances. We started off really bad. We've improved. We reached a semi-final. We got thrown out, eliminated from a semi-final. We've lost derbies. We've won derbies. It's been one hell of a roller coaster, and we're here. Two games to go. The last home game of the season. I will be there, of course, to film the last stadium vlog of the season. So that is going to come. Look, a lot of players might leave. On Sunday, it might be the last home game. It might be the last Roma game ever for a lot of these players. And this is a concept which us fans need to understand. And I'm gonna discuss this in today's match preview because yes, results count, but I also think that there's a very slim chance that we qualify in next season's Champions League for various different reasons. That doesn't mean that we can snub these games. We need to honor these games. We need the lads, the boys need to honor these games for us fans who have traveled with them, they've celebrated with them, they've suffered with them, they've supported them every single game from the start of the season to now. So from a point of view of respect, from a matter of respect, these last 2 games, you need to honor them. You need to give it your best because we deserve it. But we also, I would also like to say that for us to play in the Champions League, there needs to be another miracle happening, and I just can't see this miracle happening. I don't see Atalanta losing the next games. And adding on to this, unfortunately, I don't see Atalanta winning the Europa League. I don't. And I mentioned this yesterday, but Atalanta, when it comes to finals or feel the pressure, they're inexperienced. And Gasperini's inexperienced. And Gasperini reached 3 finals in his career and he's lost all of them. He is the Italian manager who has reached the most finals and lost them all, which doesn't give me hope. Again, I think we have the chances. I think we bottled the chances. I think for the majority of the season, we had the cards to play and to display on the table. We had the tools. Yes, I think we did. I think there were other teams which had better tools than us, but that doesn't mean that we could have let this fight happen without us. We had to fight, and we did fight, but I expected more in terms of bigger games. I think everybody expected more. I think when it comes to the big games, we all expected Roma to turn up more and probably play the games of their life in more occasions, which didn't happen. But yeah, look, it's the second to last match preview of the season. So with that being said, with this being said, I'm gonna ask for 90 likes on this live stream. It would be absolutely amazing. If you're watching live or not, do hit the like, it makes a difference. Also subscribe if you haven't already. If you enjoy the season, if you enjoy the live streams, the videos, the stadium vlogs and all of that, if you want them next season as well, if to show me that you want all of that next season, all you need to do is like this video and subscribe and get your friends and families to subscribe as well. Let's get into this. Genoa. So First of all, I must give my big merits to Genoa, because in my Serie A predictions at the start of the season, I actually predicted Genoa to go down. I did not think Genoa was going to withstand the Serie A pressure, even though they are very experienced when it comes to the Serie A. They're the team who has played the most Serie A tournaments. They're the oldest team in Italy. This tournament, this league for them is legacy. It's history and it's part of their DNA. So Genoa is 100% a team which is built for the Serie A in terms of the history that is left. But in terms of the players that they bought, I was not expecting Genoa to go this well. I wasn't. And this has been a massively successful season for them. For a team like Genoa to get 11th in the league, being newly promoted, is a masterclass. That is what I define a masterclass. Genoa not only have beat us and humiliated us in the first round, beating us 4-1, probably the most catastrophic game of the season, which was one of the things which exacerbated Mourinho's sack. But Genoa withstood the pressure and managed to grab points against big teams as well. They were never in a relegation battle. They always aimed to be in the middle of the league. Sometimes there was that stage in November, December, where Genoa actually tried to get Conference League football. And I think all of this, for a newly promoted team, is massive. So my credits go to them, my merits go to them, no doubt about this. Moreover, Gilardino has proved to be an exceptional manager, similar to the likes of De Rossi, these Italian legends coming back and making and starting their managerial careers. We're seeing this very often, from Pirlo at Sampdoria to Gilardino at Genoa, De Rossi at Roma, Cannavaro at Udinese. It's a new trend of Italian football. I think he's done really well. They've also done really well in discovering talents. I think all of us look at Retegui and Gudmundsson, the magic duo of Genoa, especially Gudmundsson. What a player. Double figure in goals and double figure in assists. First ever season in the Serie A, carried this team from the Serie B to the Serie A, carried this team to promotion, and also carried this team this season when it was back where it belongs. And I can say this and confirm this because I had Gudmundsson in my fantasy football team, in my Fantacalcio until January, and I was first because he continuously grabbed me points with his goals. And then in January, I decided to make a very risky move of exchanging him for cup minors from Atalanta, and from then I bottled the lead and I am now third in the competition with my friends. Gudmundsson is class. He's going to leave Genoa this summer. He's going to go to a bigger team. I personally think he's going to go to Juventus, but a lot of competition is around him. So, again, the good thing about Genoa and facing Genoa now is that they've got nothing to play for. That doesn't mean that they're going to gift us this game. Absolutely not. If there's one thing that Genoa have taught us, is that we shouldn't underestimate them anytime and that we should respect them, because they humiliated us a few months ago and they could easily do it again. They've been really, really overperforming this season. So it's a team that on paper you can't underestimate. They've got nothing to play for. They're already safe and mathematically they can get Europe. It's about improving themselves. It's about giving glory to the fans. And it's an ultimate test to try and compete with Torino, Monza, even Napoli. So, yeah, great season for them. It's not going to be an easy game, but the fact that they've got nothing to play for and that this game is technically more important for us because we still have a chance of getting Champions League football. If we get sixth and Atalanta win the league, win the Europa League without getting fourth, then I think this game means more to us. But again, careful, because Genoa have had surprises this season, and we have witnessed this because it happened in our own hands. So that's that when it comes to Genoa. I'm going to start speaking about us in a second. Let me just read a few comments. People are saying, why did you name it Last Dance? Well, look, ultimately, there's a chance that Dybala leaves this summer. I think we can't hide this. We can't hide this as Roma fans. there is a chance that he leaves this summer. So on Sunday, it could be Dybala's last game last home game as a Roma player. It could. We don't know. We never know. So I'm going to discuss that towards the end, because I think this is the game that is going to be the last home game for a lot of players. I don't think he'll leave because he said he likes Roma, and yes, he might leave next season. You know, it's a nice evening if Roma Theory streams. Thank you very much, mate. Vincent laughs. Bella Vito. Diffu says, Simo, which is your favourite moment we had this season? I'm going to answer that question when the season ends, because, yeah, definitely. We'll do a flashback live stream once the season ends, asking everybody their favourite moment. Mi è venuta la febbre dopo il 4-1. Do you think Dybala will leave? Right, I'm going to answer Dybala questions in a second, because I think it's a big topic of this match preview. Speaking about us, now it's the first week in quite a long time that we haven't played on a Thursday, that we are rested up, that we, yes, are tired because we're at the end of the season, but it's where I don't expect and I don't want to see the team playing like they did last Sunday against Atalanta. Because yes, fatigue is a base excuse, but for this specific game, it's not. You're playing at home against a team which is nothing to play for. You've had 1 week to rest. Fatigue for this game is not an excuse. It just isn't. So the players need to be ready. Dybala's back from his injury, so I expect Dybala to start. And we just need to try and consolidate this 6th position. Maybe put some pressure on Atalanta. Yes, the gap is minimal. It's just a 3-point gap. You never know. Atalanta just lost the Coppa Italia final. They've got Europa League in a few days. They might snub these league games. Yes, it is possible still for us to get 5th. Do I think it's going to happen? No, because Atalanta have the quality to win games on both fronts. So I don't think it's going to happen. The only way we play Champions League football next season is if we consolidate this 6th position from Lazio and Atalanta win the Europa League and don't get 4th. And so we need to hope Bologna wins these games, because we need to hope that Atalanta doesn't get 4th. Because if Atalanta get 4th, then we don't get UCL. If they win, UEL. Yeah, it's a very weird combination of things which need to happen. Now, I think it's fair to say that as much as yes, we need to consolidate this position that we're currently in, us qualifying for next season's Champions League is not in our hands anymore. It depends on Atalanta. It depends if we'll beat Bayer Leverkusen. It depends if they will beat their streak and lift that trophy. Because even if we get 6th and they don't win it, then we won't get anything. So it's not about us anymore. We've bottled our chances. Now it's about Atalanta doing us a favour. But yeah, I mean, lineup, I think this is going to be it. I think the lineup is this. The lineup is this because I just don't expect many rotations. I think this is a game which, why would you rotate? Like, okay, players are tired, and yes, it's that stage of the season where maybe your awareness of games has dropped a bit and you're like, oh, who cares, let me start other players. But I think that's wrong. I think we need to continue starting 11, because if there's one thing that has been proven to us is that our second lines don't win games. So we need to start with these players on Sunday if we want to win. And if we win on Sunday and Lazio don't win away at Milan against Inter, then we are mathematically going to get 6th. So yeah, if we win on Sunday and Lazio don't win against Inter, we're mathematically going to get 6th. Which is good, because then we can kind of use that Empoli game as a game to start the young, test the young, don't start players who won't be here next season if Atalanta win the UEL, or if they don't, because that Empoli game is after the Europa League final, so we will know if we'll be playing in the Champions League or not. So yeah, we need to keep this position, we need to consolidate this position, as I said. Again, I don't think it's about... I've reached that stage of the season where I don't care how I win. I don't care how I win. I can win 1-0. I can win 3-0. The result is the same. It's a game which is important, but I've lived games that were way more important. So, yeah, I want these players to honor these last two games from everything they have. They need to put into these last two games. But I'm not here gonna give moral lessons on, oh well, we've played shit, I don't know how we won today. I don't care. It's the end of the season. We've bottled far too many chances this season. We've lost almost every big game against the direct rival, apart from the Lazio derby and Napoli this season. So yeah, look, I think we had our chance, we bottled our chance. So I'm not going to be here speaking about tactics, how we beat Genoa, because I think the team knows how to beat Genoa. What I'm going to be speaking about in this end of match preview is, I wrote this on Instagram, on Roma Theory's Instagram, a few minutes ago. I did a post about this. This game on Sunday could be the last game that a lot of these players play for us. Whether this is a good thing, whether this is a bad thing, I don't want this to influence us fans, because we need to understand that players go. Managers come and go as well. We stay here. Roma remains eternal. We've gone through the farewell of our biggest legend, Totti. We've gone through the farewell of our second biggest legend, De Rossi. In my childhood, I've gone through Nangalan's farewell when he was my childhood hero. I've gone through Salah leaving, and I am certainly not gonna kill myself if any of these players leave. Will I be disappointed? Yes, I will. But I've matured, and I have come to the conclusion, after being told this by family, that the one thing that stays is the badge. If players don't want to be here, then the door is right there. If players aren't ready to fight for this badge, then that's the door. If players aren't feeling as if this is the place they want to be in, then we can't stop them. If they want to leave, they leave. Whoever will be here next season will be here. But the players who want to stay need to want to stay. I don't want players to stay because I've been convinced to stay. You either want to stay, you either have your heart which tells you, I want to stay here because I want to prove these fans wrong about me, because I want to prove this badge wrong about me, and I want to keep on fighting for this badge and these colours and for these fans. If that is what the heart tells you, then you stay. If your heart tells you, actually, you know what, I don't know if I want to be here, then you leave. And you don't make a big story about it. You don't make a big drama about it. You just pack your bag, end your contract, and leave. And that's the most important thing. So, looking at the team that we currently have and looking at the game that we have on Sunday, it might be the last home game of players like Lukaku. In fact, it certainly will, because Lukaku can't control his future. Players like Spinazzola, players like Smalling, players like Rui Patricio. The end of a chapter, the end of a cycle. I will be forever grateful for those players. They brought me to a Europa League final, and they lifted that Conference League trophy. But you move, we evolve. That chapter ended, we need to open a new chapter. And obviously, the big question which everybody's asking, the big question of this live stream is, with this being said, will it be Paulo Dybala's last dance on Sunday at the Stadio Olimpico in front of the fans which have always supported him, which have always loved him? Will it be the last game in front of his people? The answer is I don't know, because if I knew the answer to this, then I would probably not be here today. I don't know, but I think there is a chance that Dybala at the end of the season leaves. I think there's also a high chance that Dybala stays, because Dybala loves us. Dybala understands the values of this team. Dybala knows that other fans, wherever he will go, might not be as patient as we were with him. So we, us fans, who are going to be at the stadium on Sunday, We're going to try our best to make Dybala realize that he needs to stay here. And I'm sure that Dybala understands this himself, but sometimes these players need a charisma boost from the fans around him. We will do it our best. I trust Paulo. I know Paulo. Paulo has gone through incredible moments with us, and Paulo has gone through terrible moments with us. But Paulo's a humble lad. Paulo is a generous lad. And I think if Paulo was to leave, then he would make it big. If you see what I mean, if Dybala wants to leave, then he'd announce it. He'd announce it post-match. He'd announce it pre-match. He wouldn't just end the season and then leave. If Dybala leaves, he leaves saying thank you. I don't think Dybala's going to leave, but the chance is possible. The chance is not invisible, and us fans who love Dybala have kind of idealized Dybala, which is good because he's a world-class player. We need to understand that even if Dybala leaves, we move on. We moved on when Totti left, we moved on when De Rossi left, we moved on when Nainggolan, Salah, Dzeko left, we moved on when Mourinho left. We will move on just like we've always done if Dybala leaves as well. I know we love him, and I know he loves us. But if he wants to leave, there's nothing we can do. I don't think he's going to leave, and I don't want to dramatize this entire situation, but you get the point. There's the chance. The chance is possible, especially if we don't get Champions League football. If we get Champions League football, then, of course, this conversation gets cancelled. But as I always said, I think basing ourselves on UCL football is very, very, very unlikely, because I don't see how Atalanta win the Europa League. I mean, no, I know Atalanta have the chances, but it's just the pattern of Atalanta turning up the finals that is very worrying. So that's that. My predicted 11 is Villa in goal, Angelini on the right, Cilic on the left, Mancini and Ndika in the middle, Paredes, Pellegrini and Bove, who, by the way, I would start on Sunday, and I would also start next Sunday against Empoli, Baldanzi, Dybala and Lukaku up front. It will definitely be Lukaku's last home game, because apparently we won't sign him permanently. It's been confirmed, unless we get UCL, which again unlocks many keys, unlocks many locks, but it's also very unlikely. I think Genoa next season will be the Bologna of this season. Maybe not as good, but maybe similar. No, I don't think as good. I mean, you never know. I would have never predicted Bologna to get third. You never know. But I think Bologna's internal scouting department is more competitive than Genoa's. And let's not forget that Genoa is a team which is a newly promoted team. Bologna wasn't a newly promoted team. It's very hard to build the base for a successful long-term project when last year you were in the Serie B, which gives no money, because the difference between Serie A and Serie B is massive in terms of everything, in terms of TV rights, salaries, circulation of money. So I think it's very hard for Genoa next season to do what Bologna did. In order for Genoa to do what Bologna did, they need to avoid relegation in these next few seasons and constantly get in positions like 10th, 9th, 11th. Beating Genoa is the top priority indeed. What has happened with the Bove news? Will he stay or will he go? I don't know. Transfer news right now are pointless. We need to wait until Ghisolfi comes in, and we need to wait what De Rossi also needs to say towards Ghisolfi. We cannot sell Bove. I would argue he cares more than anybody else, along with Mancini and Pellegrini. Cannot afford to make that same mistake we keep on making. I agree, unfortunately. And I love Bove. It's not a surprise that I put his name at the back of this kit. So I would be devastated if Bove left. Preying on Atalanta's downfall, do you think we can keep Ndika and Bove? Yeah. I think we can. I think we have to. Are we going to keep Lukaku 100%, or is there a possible chance we sell him? Well, we can't sell him because he's not ours. Yeah, I think he's 100% gonna leave. The chance of him staying only arises if we qualify for the Champions League. Lukaku really wants to stay. That's been confirmed. Lukaku really has felt home. But 40 million for him is a lot. And you either have the money or unfortunately you can't invest it on him. Dybala leaving would be as sad as Salah Nainggolan leaving, says Como also. Como's a big shout. Como's money is big. So Como is a team which we need to pay attention. Como's gonna pull a Monza. Como's gonna pull a Monza in the sense that they are here to stay. Like they're not here trying to save themselves, but they are here to try and build on this. And like Monza, they're nowhere near relegation, and they will never be near relegation if this is the team that they keep on building. Right, lads, I'm gonna leave you because I'm heading out. If you haven't already, do hit the like. Please do it. 2 more match previews, 1 more match preview to go, 2 more games to go, 1 more stadium vlog to go. If you enjoyed this season, and if you want me to continue all of this next season as well, show me this by hitting the like on this video. 100 likes would be absolutely amazing. Subscribe to the channel. Follow Roma Theory TV on Instagram for daily graphics, news, posts and stories. So do all of that. And I'm going to catch you tomorrow with more Roma news, preparation for Sunday's game at home. Last home game of the season against Genoa. Talk to you soon. See you out.